The jury in the Sean Diddy Combs sex trafficking trial will be back for another day of deliberations. Yesterday, they notified the judge that they'd reached a verdict on 4 of the 5 charges, but they're deadlocked on the final one for racketeering conspiracy. So now they're coming back today. Joining us now, Irv Miller, a legal analyst. Good to have you here with us to discuss such a case that has so many eyes on it. Good to have you here. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, so the jury has said that they have unpersuadable opinions on the racketeering charge. So what does that mean, and what could happen today, do you think?
I think we're headed to a mistrial on the racketeering charge, and I think the judge will accept the verdicts that the jury have already come up to, that they know about, nobody else knows about. I think those will be published in court today, and either will be found guilty or not guilty on those 4 charges.
What do you think Diddy's attorneys were telling him at the end of yesterday, with the jury saying that they couldn't decide on that one?
You know, if they were being honest with him, and sometimes it's difficult to be honest with a client like Diddy, they will be telling him it's probably not looking good, because if you had anybody, or all 12 thinking he's innocent and not guilty of these charges, they wouldn't be split on the racketeering. So somebody on the racketeering is obviously a guilty, 1 or more. That's not a good sign for a defendant, and I hope the lawyers are honest with them, letting them know what's going on.
So now we have, we're looking at the sentencing possibilities here, and the racketeering conspiracy carries a maximum sentence of life in prison. But what do you think about sentencing as far as some of these other charges?
Well, there's 3 basic charges. There's the racketeering, which everybody knows is a serious charge, but there's also the interstate transportation for prostitution, which is the 3rd charge. That's not a very serious charge at all. But the sex trafficking, I think, is a very serious charge, maybe even more serious than the racketeering charge, because that's the only one that carries a mandatory minimum sentence of 15 years. The other 2, racketeering and the prostitution charges, there's no mandatory minimum. So the sex trafficking carries 15 on the bottom up to life. So that's why I was surprised why yesterday the prosecutor didn't just agree and ask, hey, let's take a mistrial on the racketeering and take the verdicts on the other 4.
All right, so quickly, we're heading into the holiday, and we talked about how, it's up to the judge to decide, do they declare a mistrial? Do they continue to let this jury deliberate? What do you think?
It's totally up to the judge. If he gets to the point where the jurors keep telling him time after time, hey, listen, we're in total disagreement, we're fighting back there, we're not going to be able to reach a verdict, he will absolutely declare a mistrial, whether it be today or tomorrow. Don't forget, we have a holiday coming up. The jurors don't want to sit around. But it's totally up to the judge. It's not unusual for a judge to declare a mistrial on 1 charge and take the verdicts on the others that are pending. So I would be surprised if this case didn't end today. I think it will.
Okay. Irv Miller, a legal analyst, thank you for joining us this morning. Appreciate you being here.